The hall of the Shalari Dominion shimmered with silver light as the twin moons cast their glow through the crystal ceiling. The grand chamber was filled with alien nobles whose tall frames and smooth, glowing skin marked them as one of the most elegant species in the region. They carried themselves with a calm pride born from centuries of belief in their own superiority. At the center of the hall stood a single human warrior named Leo. He wore simple combat armor that had long lost its shine. But he stood straight with steady eyes, as if he belonged in the room more than anyone else. Across from him stood a young Shalari noble named Rilla. She held her chin high, her expression sharp and amused. She had mocked him the moment he entered, whispering loudly enough for others to hear that humans were slow, clumsy, and barely fit for simple tasks. The nobles around her had chuckled with the smooth, musical laughter common to their kind. Leo had not reacted. His silence seemed to irritate her even more. Rilla stepped closer with measured grace and circled him as if inspecting something unremarkable. She waved a hand in front of him, as though shooing an insect. He remained unmoved. She clicked her tongue, pretending disappointment, and announced to the hall that she had expected at least a flicker of skill from the one called the human warrior. Her tone carried all the superiority she had been taught since childhood. To her, humans were still newcomers to the galaxy, still underestimated, still measured as lesser. But Leo was patient. He had seen this before on other worlds, where humans had arrived late yet learned fast. He stood calm not because he agreed with her, but because pride had never been the source of his strength. Humans had grown through struggle, not comfort. They had advanced through trial, not inherited privilege. In the quiet of his mind, he simply waited. At the throne above them sat Rilla's mother, the matriarch of the Dominion. She watched the exchange with a gaze sharper and older than her daughter's. The matriarch had built the Dominion through strategy and wisdom, not arrogance. She knew the value of other species. She knew the galaxy was changing, and that humans were rising quickly in influence. She also knew her daughter had yet to learn humility. When Rilla finally stopped her mocking performance, she planted herself in front of Leo and lifted her chin. She asked if he had anything to say or if humans were too slow, even for conversation. Her smile was thin. The hall listened in anticipation. Rilla expected him to respond with anger or excuses. She believed he had no true power in him and wanted to display her dominance. Leo simply replied that he had been invited for a demonstration, not an argument. His voice was steady and calm. He explained that he respected the matriarch in the Dominion and that he hoped to show why humans and Shalari could work together. His answer was simple, respectful, and sincere, but Rilla took it as another chance to mock him. She laughed and declared that humans were too humble to be warriors. She said they were too emotional, too fragile, and too reactive. Leo let her speak until the matriarch raised her hand and silenced the hall. She did not speak yet, only waited. Her daughter, unaware of the shift in the atmosphere, continued with one final mocking comment. She claimed that even if she gave an order as strong as a command from a leader, a human warrior like Leo would not have the strength to obey or resist. She said he would simply fail. The matriarch stood up slowly. Her presence alone silenced every voice. She stepped down from the throne with a grace that carried weight. Her daughter immediately fell quiet. The air in the hall grew tense as the matriarch moved toward Leo and Rilla. When she reached them, she looked first at Leo, then at her daughter. Her voice, though calm, carried the authority of someone who had shaped entire star systems. She asked Rilla if she understood what true strength meant. The young noble remained silent. The matriarch then asked if she knew why the Dominion had invited a human warrior at all. Rilla shook her head. She seemed unsure now, her confidence slipping. The matriarch explained that humans possessed a rare quality that the Dominion had long forgotten. They grew from adversity, adapted quickly, and never gave up even when the odds were impossible. She said that while Solari were born strong, humans became strong through experience. This difference made them unpredictable and capable of surprising victories. She reminded the Hall that strength was not only physical, but also rooted in resilience, discipline, and the ability to rise after every fall. Then, the matriarch turned fully toward Rilla and delivered the command that made the Hall freeze. She ordered her daughter to kneel before the human warrior. Her words echoed through the chamber and left a stunned silence behind. Rilla's eyes widened in disbelief. She instinctively glanced around as if hoping someone would intervene, but no one dared. The matriarch's gaze held firm. She repeated her command again, clear and steady. Her daughter tried to protest, saying it would be shameful for a Solari noble to kneel before a human. But the matriarch reminded her that arrogance was the true shame. She said that kneeling was not about defeat, but about learning the humility needed to become a leader. She told Rella that if she could not respect strength when it came in unfamiliar forms, she would never understand the galaxy she hoped to lead someday. Ryla trembled with uncertainty. She looked at Leo, who did not appear proud or triumphant. Instead, he looked calm and even uncomfortable with the situation. His respectful demeanor made it even harder for her to refuse. At last, she slowly lowered herself onto one knee. The hall watched in silence as the proud noble bent her knee before the human warrior. Her mother nodded with approval. Leo immediately knelt down as well, lowering himself to her level to remove any sense of superiority. He thanked her for her gesture and said it showed true courage to follow a difficult command. He explained that strength was not found in standing above someone, but in understanding when to stand with them. His gesture surprised the whole. Even the matriarch seemed impressed. Rilla lifted her head and saw that he was not mocking her. Instead, he respected her more for obeying her mother's instruction. His reaction softened something in her heart. For the first time, she saw humans in a new way. She realized that the strength her mother admired in humans was not loud or aggressive. It was steady, balanced, and deeply tied to empathy and resolve. The matriarch declared that the demonstration was complete. She said Leo had passed not by fighting, but by showing calm strength in the face of disrespect. She announced that the Dominion would begin formal cooperation with humans. She explained that trust was built not on pride, but on understanding. The hall murmured with approval, though some nobles exchanged surprised looks. After the command was fulfilled, the matriarch invited Leo to stand at her side. Rilla stood as well, her posture more humble than before. She thanked Leo quietly, admitting she had misjudged him. He offered a reassuring nod. The tension between them began to fade. The rest of the day was dedicated to discussing alliances. Leo spoke about how humans wished to exchange knowledge, resources, and cultural understanding. Solari nobles asked questions, some cautious and others curious. Leo answered each calmly, showing patience and clarity. He spoke not as someone trying to prove superiority, but as someone seeking connection. Rilla listened from a distance. She watched how he handled pressure and how he responded with sincerity instead of pride. The more she observed, the more she understood why her mother valued human qualities. She realized that humans had a spirit shaped by history, a spirit not easy to break or intimidate. That evening, the matriarch invited Leo, Rilla, and several nobles to a private chamber. There, she explained her long-term vision. She said the galaxy was entering an era where cooperation between species would determine survival. She believed humans held untapped potential, and that the Dominion should be among the first to recognize it. She praised Leo for representing his people with honor. Rilla took a deep breath and bowed her head toward Leo in acknowledgement. She said she wished to learn more about his world, and the way humans grew strong through adversity. Leo agreed and expressed his respect for her willingness to learn. Their exchange marked the beginning of a cooperative bond between their species. As days passed, Leo trained with Shalari warriors, teaching them human tactics and learning their precise techniques in return. Rila trained beside him. She found that humans fought with adaptability rather than rigid form. She discovered that Leo could switch strategies in moments, using instinct shaped by countless challenges. She was impressed by how quickly humans adjusted to new environments. During one training session, Rila stumbled while attempting a complex earthly maneuver Leo had demonstrated. She expected him to laugh or use the moment to remind her of her earlier behavior. Instead, he calmly helped her stand, guided her through each movement, and encouraged her until she mastered it. This simple act changed her perspective even more. She started to ask him questions about human culture, the struggles humans had endured, and how they had managed to grow from near extinction to interstellar explorers. Leo answered every question with honesty, never exaggerating. He explained that humans did not rise through perfection, but through constant effort. He said that even when humans failed, they improved step by step, learning until they could stand again. Rila realized that her past arrogance had come from a sheltered life where she never faced true Chao.